Hello everyone, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Brian, and I am the newest member of the High Stakes team. Now I'd like to commence this video with a request for those interested in receiving more premium betting tips and predictions. If our guidance has contributed to your success in winning bets and generating revenue, we kindly seek your support in revitalizing this channel. Your assistance plays a crucial role in bolstering our presence on YouTube. You're welcome to explore our Patreon support tier or check out our various plans. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you seeking our premium picks. Cincinnati Reds vs Cardinals take the Cardinals to win, and here is why. The Reds lost a 6-1 affair against the Pirates on Wednesday afternoon to conclude a dismal 2-4 homestand. The offense 338 runs over 80 games and their 4.27 runs per game average ranks 17th overall. They come into this series slashing .228/.305/.375 with 212 extra base hits and 111 stolen bases, second most in the NL. Cincinnati batters have been able to work 251 walks in their favor, and they have struck out 712 times. Jonathan India went 2 for 4 and drove in the team's lone run on Wednesday. The second baseman hit safely in 8 straight games entering this series with 5 straight multi-hit efforts. On the pitching side, Cincinnati's hurlers carry a 3.92 team ERA in this series, 12th in the National League. Their starting rotation was 2.725 with a 4.14 ERA and 1.25 WHIP, while the bullpen went 10-18 with 19 saves and a 3.51 ERA. Overall, the staff has struck out 676 opponents and walked 245. Montas has gone winless in his last 3 outings, going 0-1 with a 6.57 ERA. Opponents picked up 14 hits and 7 walks against him over 12.1 innings worked in that span. Montas is 0-1 with a 9.00 ERA in 2 career starts against the Cards. In the first half of their Wednesday doubleheader with the Braves, the Cardinals saw a 4-game win streak come to an end with a 6-2 loss. Through 78 games, the offense produced 313 runs, second fewest in the NL, and were averaging 4.04 runs per game. They slashed .240/.306/.379 and had 202 extra base hits with 45 stolen bases. St. Louis batters also struck out 667 times while drawing 231 walks. Alec Burleson drove in a run Wednesday afternoon with a sac fly, making it 4 straight games with an RBI for the outfielder. He has driven in 35 batters in 71 games played, third most on the club. The Cardinals pitching staff entered their Thursday night tilt with a 3.95 team ERA over 78 games. The starting rotation was 2.723 with a 4.18 ERA and 1.26 WHIP, and the relievers were 13-15 with 30 saves and a 3.66 ERA. The staff as a whole had recorded 643 strikeouts while allowing 232 free passes. Mikolas is going for a 3rd straight win, and in 4 June starts the right-hander has gone 3-0 with a 2.49 ERA while holding opponents to a .180 batting average in that stretch. He gave up 4 runs, 6 hits and 2 walks over 6 innings last time out. Mikolas is 5-7 with a 5.26 ERA in 20 career appearances, 18 starts versus the Reds. These two met at the end of May, the Cards taking 2 of 3 games in Cincinnati. Mikolas has had a mixed bag of results this season, but facing NL Central foe Pittsburgh at home earlier in June, he allowed just 1 hit and 1 walk in 7 innings. The team has also gone 3-1 in his last 4 starts at home. Montas did go 6 innings when he faced Cardinals at the end of May, but earned the loss after allowing 3 runs, 6 hits and 2 walks. The Reds are 17-20 on the road this year, while the Cardinals have gone 2-1-1-6 at Busch Stadium this season and had won their first 4 at home of their current 10-game homestand. St. Louis 4-1 in their last 5 games against Cincinnati. Our total pick is under 8 runs. When they faced off a month ago, the two teams averaged a combined 6.7 runs per game as they hit the under in all 3 games. Between the two, there have been 84 games that have hit the under this season. The offenses on both sides rank in the bottom half of the majors in terms of scoring and are in the bottom third of the National League in on base percentage. The Reds scored 4 runs or less in 8 of their last 11 games. The Cardinals have scored 4 runs or less in 9 of their last 14 games. The under is 7-3 in the last 10 meetings between the two teams. Detroit Tigers vs Los Angeles Angels. My team pick is Detroit Tigers moneyline, and here is why. Detroit fell to the Philadelphia Phillies by a score of 6-2 in their most recent contest. Matt Vierling had 2 hits including a home run while Andy Ibanez drove in the other RBI for Detroit. Tyler Holton gave up 4 hits and 1 run as the opener for the first couple innings, but Philadelphia broke open the game in the 4th and 5th inning to cruise to a win. The biggest free agency signing was the former Twin in Kenta Maeda for 2 years and $24 million. Detroit also signed Gio Urshela 1 year $1.5 million, Shelby Miller 1 year $3.0 million, Jack Flaherty 1 year $14 million, and Andrew Chafin 1 year $4.75 million. Miguel Cabrera made it clear he was not going to be playing after 2023, but the Tigers did him a favor by declining his option and giving him an $8 million buyout instead of Cabrera retiring and forfeiting the $8 million. Javier Baez declined his opt-out to stay with Detroit for 4 years and $98 million, while Eduardo Rodriguez opted out of his contract. The Tigers also exercised the options for Carson Kelly and Mark Canha after acquiring the latter in the offseason in the trade market. Other than that, no major move was made in the trade market for Detroit. Colt Keith was signed to a 6-year extension for $28.6425 million with 3 club options, and some notable losses include Matthew Boyd, Spencer Turnbull, Austin Meadows, and Tyler Nevin. Veteran right-hander Jack Flaherty gets the nod in the game for the Tigers. He has excelled as of late with a 0.57 ERA during the month of June. Overall, the hurler has a 2.92 ERA and a 0.97 WHIP to go with a 5.4 record. In 14 starts and 83.1 innings pitched, Flaherty has struck out 108 batters and walked only 13 batters. While he has given up only 1 run during the month of June, he hasn't gone more than 5.2 innings in each start. In his last start against the White Sox, Flaherty gave up 1 run on 5 hits in 5.2 innings while striking out 8 and walking 2. Detroit will need continued success from Flaherty if they want to compete, as we almost enter July. 2.92 struggled lately, allowing 8 runs over his last 2 starts. Flaherty is 0-1 with a 4.91 ERA, and has allowed 30 hits in 29.3 innings with just 4 walks. He previously pitched for St. Louis from 201-7-2-3 before he was traded to Baltimore before the trade deadline. Interestingly, the Angels have been terrible at home this year with a 15-25 record. Detroit has also won their last 3 games played between each other, all in LA. I trust Flaherty more than I do a player who has only made 3 starts total in his career. Betting on either team has been a poor choice essentially all year, but I trust Detroit's pitching ever so slightly more than I do LA's. My total pick is under 8.5 runs, and here is why. Until Flaherty falters in his outing, I will have confidence that he can shut down whoever his opponent is. I expect the Angels will have a quick leash on Daniel as the starter, as they don't want to ruin any of his confidence as he re-enters the big leagues. Detroit nearly has a top 10 bullpen era, and the Angels have had their struggles in the bullpen, but they were able to limit Oakland to only 2 runs in 7 innings last game. That might provide just enough confidence to limit the number of runs scored. Detroit has hit the under in 8 of their last 10 games, and the Angels have hit the under in 4 of their last 6 contests. Cleveland Guardians vs. Kansas City Royals. My team pick is Kansas City to win, and here is why. The Kansas City Royals caught fire early in the 2024 season behind a budding star in Bobby Witt, but in recent times they've not been as good, with just 5 wins in their past 17 games, seeing them slip to 3rd in the AL Central. Like Cleveland, it's the Royals pitching staff that leads the way, ranking 10th in the league in team era, but with their offense faltering, especially at home as of late, they need to turn momentum quickly to remain in the wild card race. Taking the mound for Kansas City in this one will be veteran right-hander Michael Wacha, who has allowed 2 or less earned runs in 6 straight outings, and given how desperate the team is for a win, they'll need all of that in this one. Last time out for the Royals was a solid victory over the Miami Marlins, with 7.1 stellar innings from Brady Singer leading the way, as the offense did just enough with a 5-run 8th inning to pick up the much-needed 5-1 win. My total pick is under 9 runs, and here is why. The Guardians' offense has improved recently, but it's still the pitching staff that leads these teams, with 2 veterans in Lively and Wacha both consistently giving great performances, with the under sitting at 6.31 in their past 10 meetings. For the Guardians, the over sits at 6.31 in their past 10 overall games, with the team scoring 3 or fewer runs in 2 of their 3 road games against Baltimore, and for the Royals, the under is 8.11 in their past 10, with the team managing just 20 runs over that stretch.